What's going on, guys? My name is Eldeniro and welcome to episode 70 of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off with a pre-contract bid for Marco van Ginkel because he played so well against us in the last episode. The only problem is, despite having sold Christian Gamboa to QPR, we just don't really have the wages for him, and we're hoping that he'll take a massive wage cut, but I really doubted that it would happen. But I want to say, right, 70 episodes is insane. If you guys want to leave a like to support that milestone, to celebrate it, that would be incredible. I'd really appreciate it. But it's just unreal. I don't know how long it took me to get 70 I don't know how long it took me to get 70 episodes of my Everton career mode last season, or sorry, last year. I got so confused because I was looking at Everton on the screen. We're playing against them in the FA Cup, by the way, for anyone who cares. But yeah, I don't know how long it took, but it looks like we're going to have 100 episodes of this done before the year is out, which is pretty phenomenal in all honesty. But check this goal out, by the way, from Luke Garba. An absolutely incredible volley into the back of the net, just 3 minutes into the game to put Everton 1-0 up. And we're looking at an FA Cup exit here as we go 1-0 down, and it's just such a ridiculous goal from Luke Garba. I always question why they play him at left wing when they've got McGeady and other players, but that is just an insane shot into the far corner. But yeah, I don't know, I wanted to say just thank you very much for all the support on this series. It has been absolutely phenomenal, and it's so much fun to do, and it's such a motivation booster to see that the likes are still rolling in, and that the views are still there, and that you guys still care about the series, and it's just awesome. But I did have a question for you guys, and it was quite simply, why do I say quite simply all the time? No, what I wanted to know was, how did your country get on in the friendlies last night, if your country did indeed play? I kind of hate international friendlies, but since the Ireland-Scotland game the other night, which was a qualifier, I don't know, it was such a good game. The atmosphere of it was great. So I watched the Ireland-USA game last night, and Ireland actually won 4-1, which was really, really good for Ireland because, I don't know, we're not very good, and USA are pretty good, even though they're on kind of a bad run at the moment. But yeah, it was a decent win. And how did your country get on? But as you see here, in the 55th minute, Mike Anelete gets into a very good position, but his shot is saved by the goalkeeper. And then 2 minutes later, Everton came on the offensive with Oviedo, playing the ball into Ross Barkley, who finds Morales in the centre, sees his shot saved by Jack Butland, and the rebound was almost pounced upon, but Butland did manage to hold it eventually. Then we come up to the 72nd minute of the game, with Villalba picking the ball up and running ahead of Laporte, who had an absolutely amazing game. This was pretty much the only time he was beaten in the game, as the ball gets played in towards Schlupp, who was nowhere near it, and Everton eventually managed to clear it, but only as far as Berahino, who does get a shot off, which was deflected off Laporte and wide for a corner kick. We didn't get anything from the corner, and sadly we have been eliminated from the FA Cup, which is a massive shame, because I did want to do a little bit better in that tournament, but it frees up space for our league challenge, and that can only be a good thing. So we come out of that game to find that PSG have made a bid for Villalba, and I was gonna tinker with it and be like, yeah, give me 60 million, but I was afraid that they actually would, so I just decided to keep him because it's too late in the transfer window now to try and replace Villalba, really. Roma made a bid as well of 17 million, which I just burst out laughing at and told them to fuck off. But after that, I went and I made a pre-contract bid for Jonathan Williams, who we tried to sign at the end of the first season, but Palace just weren't having it. So we're going to try and take him on a free. 20 grand a week is really good for a player with as high potential as he has, and he accepts our contract offer, so he will join us next season. And with 45 grand left in the wages, I decided to put every single piece of the transfer budget into wages and try and get Carl Jenkinson in, because Boyata is going to leave when the season is over, probably. And it would be really good to have Bayram and Jenkinson as fullbacks for the club, I think, because we're going to be in the Champions League next season and we're going to need two capable fullbacks. So I offered Jenkinson a contract where he would have to take something like a £220 wage drop, which he agrees to, and we sign him, and that's all of our money gone. But I think two very, very good pre-contract agreements right there. I also sent a scout out to England. It's James Green, the guy who brought back the really slow Irish players that I have in the team. He's the only one I have. I wanted to put more money into a youth scout because 2-star experience and judgment is not good enough. But we'll give it a go anyway and see if anything comes up, because you never know, it could be worth doing so, and I have seen some comments about it. But I think next season we'll have a bigger budget, and I will try and do it if indeed we are staying at Leicester, depending on what people want me to do. We go into our next game of the episode. This is against Newcastle, and Newcastle are a very good team, but we actually have quite a good record against them, in all honesty. They just have a very sort of menacing attack lineup, I find. But we have Hector Villalba and we have Dwight Gale, and we do pretty well with them, in all honesty. In the 11th minute, Zuccolini had had a shot, which was saved by the goalkeeper, and then Rohan Ince kept it in play by finding Julian Brandt, who leaves it for Dwight Gale, but his shot went hideously wide. It really should have found the target from that position. Then just beyond the half-hour mark, Sissoko picks the ball up for Newcastle. He finds Davide Santon, who plays it into Ade, who heads it down to Aarons, whose shot was saved by Kasper Schmeichel and kept out. And then just beyond the hour mark, we got a corner kick as Tom Ince swings it in. It goes up towards Corker. It's headed away as far as Baraghi, who had a shot from distance, but sadly it went well wide of the target. And this was a very, very cagey game with neither side willing to give anything away. And in the 64th minute, the ball comes to Villalba in a good position. He finds Tom Ince, who does really well to get around Davide Santon and then chip the ball into the path for Villalba to run into. He gets in ahead of Henderson, and this is a really good position from him, and amazingly he manages to not find the net from that position. It was Tim Krul playing in goal for Newcastle, and they had just signed Fraser Forster from Southampton for $4.5 million, and he was on the bench. I don't know, the way that the AI on this game just consume goalkeepers and never use them, I don't get what it is, because Man United are after breaking the bank to sign Ruffier, the goalkeeper, the French goalkeeper, and like they have Lindegaard, who they play as their #1, while leaving De Gea on the bench, and then they're signing Ruffier for a load of money as well. Like it's so bizarre, this game. But in the 74th minute, Newcastle came forward, which led to a counter attack from us as Origi plays the ball into the path of Hector Villalba, who has Leite beside him in a great position. Villalba plays it into Leite, who amazingly doesn't score from that position, which is absolutely mental. Then we come up to the 85th minute of the game with Ben Arfa in the box for Newcastle. He's dispossessed by Martinelli, who plays it to Zuccolini, but the clearance only comes as far as Davide Santon. It's eventually cleared, and Maicon Leite picks it up, and this is what I was hoping for, was a counter attack in the closing moments as the ball comes to Tom Ince. He plays it into Hector Villalba, who chips it over into the path of Origi, who amazingly manages to not score, and it was so annoying, but it went out for a corner kick, which would give us another chance to try and get something in this game, as Tom Ince is going to swing it inwards with his left foot. It comes towards Origi, but eventually is headed away to Baraghi, who finds Zuccolini, whose shot is saved at the near post by Tim Krul and cleared by Santon. As Newcastle hold on, we get a 0-0 draw from that game, which isn't ideal, but it is a clean sheet, and that's something, I guess, you know. We come out of that game to find that Jeffrey Schlupp wants a wage increase, and anytime he's asked for a wage increase, it's only ever been like $2,000 or something. He's on a $6,000 a week contract, which is basically nothing for a Premier League footballer. But unfortunately for him, we have no fucking money to give him. He wants 15 grand, which means he wants a 9 grand increase. But we just can't do it until we advance in the Europa League and get more prize money. So that's out the window for him for now, unfortunately. And our next game is at Upton Park against West Ham United, who are in 12th place, while we are in 2nd, just 1 point behind Chelsea, as we're trying to press on and overtake them. They obviously had a draw in one of their games as well, which is why they haven't peeled away despite the draw that we got at Newcastle. West Ham's team is very good. I think we do well against them every time that we play them now, I think. But Ravel Morrison in midfield is good. Drinkwater used to play for us. That's always a curse. Mikael Lustig at right back for them is amazing as well. I've looked at his stats. I was going to actually get him on a pre-contract deal, but he's 31, I think. So I just decided not to, because there's no need when Jenkinson is pretty much the better option anyway. But Maiga had a shot in the 6th minute, which Schmeichel had to be alert to save. And then from the corner kick, Danny Drinkwater had a shot, and he almost managed to score against his former club, but thankfully for us, it did stay out with a goal, and it allowed us to go forward in the 13th minute as Villalba is dispossessed, but then the ball is played straight back into him, and from here it was always going to be a goal as he knocks it in past Adrian and runs over to the away fans to celebrate his, I don't even know what goal that is for the season for him. I think it is his 23rd goal of the season. Then West Ham had another chance in the 16th minute with Maiga's shot being saved by the keeper, and then we come up to the 35th minute of the game with Maicon Leite on the ball, who just has so much pace and agility to burn players as he runs past them, and amazingly he managed to finish from there. It's a really tight angle, and those shots don't always go in, but it was a strange hit. He made strange contact with the ball. It was kind of a toe poke into the far corner, but thankfully enough it put us 2-0 up, and that's pretty handy, because West Ham are a team where, like, you know, they don't really do anything for the whole game. They just hold on to it, and they're no real threat. But if you give Andy Carroll the ball, he will score a goal. He's amazing in this game. But we had a shot in the 53rd minute from Villalba, which was saved by the goalkeeper and put out for a corner kick, which would be taken by Scott Sinclair. He swings it in towards Stephen Corker, who goes up and heads it into the back of the net to put us 3-0 up. And from here, victory was really beyond all doubt. Realistically, there was nothing that West Ham could do to affect this onslaught no matter how many goals they would have scored, and well, unless they scored 4 goals essentially. I don't know why I talk in cliches, I really don't, but in the 56th minute Hector Villalba made it 4 as he gets his 2nd goal of the game, and nothing is going to stop him this season apart from maybe a broken metatarsal or something tragic like that. But in the 70th minute, Andy Carroll picks the ball up on the left hand side of the box for West Ham. He approaches the goal, he passes it to Zarate, who amazingly finds the back of the net through Kasper Schmeichel's legs, and I was really annoyed because our defensive record is really good, and I actually have a plan for this season, and that's to basically, when a goalkeeper finishes in the top 3 for clean sheets in the league, a lot of clubs will want to buy said goalkeeper, which is why we get so many offers for Kasper Schmeichel. And this is probably going to be Schmeichel's last season as number 1, because we have Butland, as you see West Ham make it 4-2 in the 85th minute. But I'm going to let Schmeichel get a lot of clean sheets and then sell him at the end of the season pretty much. Villalba comes forward in the 88th minute. He gets his hat-trick. Probably his 4th hat-trick of the season, I'm not too sure, but it's his 25th goal in the league overall, and we exit the Boleyn ground with a 5-2 victory over West Ham, which is pretty convincing and pretty amazing. But that is the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much for all your support over the 70 episodes. It has been phenomenal. I've been El Dinero, thanks for watching.